Hey everybody, it's Thursday and normally I do jelly printing, but since I skipped yesterday's craft demo because it was my birthday and I went for lunch, I am instead just going to do my craft demo today. And that's because last week I started something and I want to finish it today. And so if you were with me last week for the craft demo on Wednesday, you might remember that let's set this up properly. I was working with these molds and various mold, I wonder why that doesn't feel so close. And the, it is, the light's not on. There we go. All right, so, not flat. So I was working with these molds and I did four different mediums last week. I did Polymer Clay, which I have professed as my favorite. This one warped because I didn't put it in flat into the toaster oven, and I just have a really cheap toaster oven that I dedicate to Polymer Clay. You know, technically you really shouldn't do this on things you're going to eat with, but honestly it's non-toxic, so I'm not sure. You know, you measure the risk for yourself just as long as you vent it well. I also did some of this model, what is it called? Model light that a customer gave me. So we played with that, and this is the effect I got there. It worked a little bit, but you can see it's fairly sturdy. It's a little sort of maybe more brittle than, no, the paper clay is more brittle. This is the Delight air dry modeling compound. So that's what came from that. This is the Model Light. It curled a little bit. That's the only thing about the Model Light, but it's a little less, it's a little more flexible. Oh, until you do that, than the Delight. And then I did the ice resin, and I wanted to show you what it looks like when you actually take it out of the mold. So it's been sitting in the mold for a week, and what I really want you to see is how clear it is. Now, ice resin is best used to create things that you look through. So she sells bezels and things like that. You're supposed to put little bitsy treats in, and then you cover it with the resin and trap it. So that's basically what the idea is behind the ice resin. And you can see how beautifully that works in terms of it being a clear finish on the top. I could have hit it with a little flame, I think, to get some of these bubbles out, but I do get a nice impression, and it's just frosted. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see, make sure that you can see the frost on it. And so since I'm planning to paint it anyway, it doesn't really matter. That one I got overexcited with and overflowed. But you know, I have these nice little coins that I got out of this one. This one ended up together. You can see, I filed that down. So that's with some glitter. The glitter didn't really work because it didn't behave the way I wanted it to. There's the butterfly. And one of the postage stamps. And another butterfly. That came out really well. I don't know if you can see that. And so these postage stamp pieces came out really well. So that is that's the ice resin, right? 2-part ice resin. It takes 24 hours to truly cure, and you really do get this beautiful heavy duty finish. Before I do anything with those though, I did want to show you, I have 2 other compounds I want to show you. One is the air dry clay from Crayola. And I thought I ordered this in smaller quantities, but I don't know. This one is literally more like a clay. I don't know if you can see that. So, you know, you can really genuinely mold this like a clay and leave it, you know, to create a 3D sculpture. And it's a little stickier than the paper clays and the polymer clay. Polymer clay can get really sticky if you warm it up too much, but this stuff is already pretty wet. and sticky. So I don't know how you can see that. I'm probably gonna have to leave it in the mold in order to get a good impression. So I'm just gonna do a few of these and then I will unmold them at another time. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can get that. One thing I can do is mound it in there, really squash it in and not worry about, and then come with a knife or a blade of some sort and scrape off the edges or the excess. Put in a little bit more there. So I'm just gonna fill some of these out and let them dry. We'll see how long that takes. I'll do one in here. And then the other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to show you the quick set resin that I sell. Of course, I'm out of stock right this second. I don't know why I didn't realize that. It's actually been on order for a while. Again, it's probably sitting in the harbor right now with everything else. I am not immune to the shortages that have happened because of that. I have a lot of things that are on order that have been sitting around on my, you know, on its way list for a long time. So hopefully they'll get that resolved soon and I'll have it in stock. But I thought I'd just show you how to use it. And you know, if you're impatient, you might be able to find it somewhere else, but hopefully you'll wait. Okay, so these are the two, this is the modeling compound, Crayola air dry clay. And like I said, it really is more clay-y than the others. The others are definitely more papery. They feel a little more like plasticky. Okay, so that's those. I'm gonna leave these to dry. There we go. And so I'm going to show you the quick set resin. It's called Amazing Casting Resin. This one actually comes out white, and it's exactly the same process. You want to measure out equal amounts. This one's chunky for some reason. You know, let's see. We'll see if this works. If it doesn't, I'll pull out another bottle. This is part B and part A together, and they go together and they're cloudy. And it's when they when it clears up and goes clear that you can use it. This is. We'll see. I don't have a lot of faith that this is going to set up properly. It's supposed to be going clear. It's kind of doing it. Kind of. You'll also notice that it'll heat up if it's doing what it's supposed to do. I don't think this is working. Yeah, that is not doing what it's supposed to do. Hold on. All right, I have another set. I'll toss this one. That's not working. Give this another stir. It's warming up though. The thing about this stuff is you'll know right away because it is quick set. So it's warming up and getting a little gooier. So let's see. I'll pour it in one of these and see if it sets up. And you'll know that it's setting up because it turns white. Okay, so there's that. We'll let that one sit there. All right, and I'll do another batch because I'm not entirely sure that that's gonna work. Oh goodness, in here, there we go. Whew, that was a test of my strength. And this stuff, okay, so at AB again, another container. I'm gonna mix up 15 milligrams, I think it's milligrams. Let's see if we get a better result this time. I mean, I don't know, it actually looks like it's working. Okay, so I'm going to stir this, and there you go. See, that's what's supposed to happen. It goes white. And then it should go clear-ish. I don't know though, you can see that that actually seems to be setting up. Maybe I'm misremembering, the rules. But we want to stir it well. Oops. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pour this one even though it didn't clear up. This is a non-stick mat, so I'm not worried about getting bits of resin on it or my stick or anything because it will come up off of it. So you can see it's getting clear. Let's do this one. I do like these keys a lot, these keyholes. And remember, you can do this. I have all the like flat molds from Prima is what all these are, but you could do this with 3D molds. I get a lot of mine from, you know, Etsy, where people hand make them, which is kind of cool. Resin molds, and then, you know, I let the resin in the little plastic cups set, and then I just pull out the bits. So that did set up, that first set. It's still warm, but once this is dry, I'll just pull it right out of the container. So you can see this is clear now, and in a minute you'll see the white bits start to consolidate. Ideally, hopefully. Okay, I'm just gonna, I got some resin on my hands. This is why you're supposed to use gloves. I'm a little on the lazy side when it comes to that stuff, so I'm gonna wipe this down a little bit. Okay, got a little paint coming up there too. All right, so, oh, there you go. See the white? See how it's starting to expand? That is it curing. Quick cure. This is very quick cure. Oh, that's another thing I have, is I do have the quick cure clay. I'm not a huge fan though, so I don't know. Okay, so once you have these, let's grab a few examples. Here's the Model Light, the Delight modeling compound, the ice resin, and the Polymer Clay. So let's take a nice, this is a nice bright spray. This is an eye zinc. I want you to see what happens. So here are the 4 different compounds and how they react. You can see that the resin and the polymer clay beads, but on the 2 more paper-like compounds, it soaks in a little bit, so you get a little bit of a, whoop, they are very light, moving around. So you get a little bit of an effect with that. Where you can see of it settling into the creases and giving you a little bit of a shadowed look like that. There's that one. Here's the model light. So the model light, I left in the mold, which I think is why it curled, because the top dried faster than the bottom because it was touching the mold. So if I had left it, if I had pulled it out, powdered the mold so that I could pull it out before it dried, then it would have probably dried flat. So I would take that as a user error more than a characteristic of the compound. I don't know if you can see how this stuff has beaded on the top of this resin. Now remember, this came out a little bit frosted, so there's a little texture to it, so it is holding some of the medium, the ink a little bit, so it's got a little bit of a tinge of the medium, and this has mica in it, this medium, so you can see that a little sheen. And so in the end, the polymer clay is the one that has resisted the most. And this is a water-soluble surface, spray. So if I add other things to it, it will rehydrate and move around, even if I've dried it bone dry. So, and that's going to take a long time to dry because of its... All right, so this is the quick dry. I don't know how many minutes it's been, but it's still not quite ready because it's bending in the mold. It should pop out of the mold the way the other resin did. I'm going to show you another layer on this that is dry, and this is the Delight modeling compound, and this is a Finnabair metallic wax. And this is great for just rubbing over and picking up detail and adding a little layer of vintagey effect, shabby chic. Getting a little gleam in there. This color is rose gold. So hopefully you can see what that did for that. And I didn't get the sides, so there's that one. Let's try it on the resin. Okay, some nice detail. I can be a little rougher with the resin because I'm not going to damage it. So there's the resin. I think that I'm going to try just painting on this, let's see, the polymer clay. Where's that paint? And it's going to mix with that blue that was on there because I didn't bother getting it super dry. And this paint is the Deco Art paint. It's not super pigmented, but what it's going to do is give it a chalky finish too, so that when I come back, if I want to add more, once it dries, it'll help more other mediums adhere to it. So it's almost like going to act like a primer. So now that I've done that, okay, I can come along. Let's see, let's do one of these holiday sprays from Tim Holtz. This is the jack-o'-lantern. These have a lot of mica in them and a lot of color. So hopefully you can see that now that is not beading as much as it did when it was just the straight polymer clay. And because of the mica sinks, and so you really do get these glowy highlights when you use a mica spray on texture. Ooh, I really like this combination. I wasn't even thinking about what I was doing, but that's what I'm getting. Quite completely dry. Oh, and because it's polymer clay, it has actually heated up and gone soft, so I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna let that cool down. So this is ready. This is the quick cure. It's been about 10-15 minutes, and I'm wondering if you can see the detail on that. Again, it's a slightly frosted effect. But gosh, that looks great. Oop, that one's not ready. Let's see. Those are still okay. So those might be a second. Wow, this really heated up, and went very sort of floppy, which is I don't remember. I haven't done that to polymer clay before, so that's a bummer. So let's talk about this one. So this one is the quick dry clay. Not quick light, the quick set resin. Quick dry clay is something else. Let's see what happens when I use a distress, let's be flickering candle. Okay. And this is just straight onto the resin without anything else. Also went a little soft when I heated it. Okay, be aware, Inherit. All right, so I want to show you something. This is Dina Wakley's acrylic gloss sprays, but you know, they don't spray after a little while because they clog really easily. So I like to take them sometimes and just use them as a little wand to add color to things. And so if you run them over the top of something with some texture, sometimes you can get these effects where it sits on top and looks kind of cool. And I do have now in stock the little caps that you can use on these to create to make them into paint pens instead of spray bottles. Been waiting for those for a while, so I don't know if you can see the detail that I'm kind of highlighting here with these. Just rubbing it, using it like a wand. And those will dry because those are acrylic. I'm not going to heat gun them because I've learned my lesson. I'm going to add some of this rose gold wax to this and see how that picks up this detail. And you know, the same as with this as anything that I do. If you don't like it, you're not finished. Keep going, add another layer, cover up this stuff. It'll all be just part of the finished product in the end. That's so funny. Let's see. So I would like to change. I'm pretty pleased with that. That came out really well. I'm loving where this is going. That one's coming along. This one could do with a little more interest. So let's see if what happens if we add a little something else. Let's see, what do I have? What happens if I add a little mustardy paint to the top? We'll see. Not super into where this is gone, so I'm just going to change the color of it completely by adding another spray. And this is a Lindy Stamp Gang Moonshadow Mist, which has, it separates into two colors. It's got some mica in there along with the color, so it will, that mica will pop out. Actually, I think I'm just going to leave this and let it dry, see what happens. So, you know, this is more papery, so it's kind of absorbing some of that color. I'm really hoping that maybe I can pull this out now and you can see, no, that does not want to, well, this one is releasing. There we go. So, see if we can see what this looks like. It's a little soft, but not soft in the way that like I can smush it. It's just bendy. So this is the quick, more of that quick set resin. And I just, you know, these molds are beautiful, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed that part. I've been talking about the resins and stuff, but I love these molds and how the detail in them and just how beautifully they turn out. I mean, look at that. That's gorgeous. You know, that's the same as this one and this one here. So, you know, getting an idea of what some of these mediums do. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. So the one thing I'm waiting for now is for this this Crayola air dry clay to set, and we'll leave that alone. That'll probably take a few hours. And in the meantime, these will dry and set, and I'll have some pieces to work with. Maybe break some of this off, or file some of that off, but lots of little doodads now to add to projects, and keep an eye out. Maybe I'll add something to something in the next couple of demos. That might be gone. All right, I'm babbling. Okay, so I hope that was interesting and that you saw how easy it is to use these mediums and these molds and the results that you can get. I have an open house tomorrow night, cupcakes and cocktails and a free craft. Hope that sounds interesting to you. If it does, come by at 6, between 6 and 9, and hang out with us. We'd love to see you, and if you haven't come into the store before, it's a good opportunity to come and meet us and see what we're all about. So hope that sounds interesting, and I'm open today until 5 and tomorrow from 12 to 9. All right, take care everyone, bye.